Okay, so in this question we've got to complete the bill. So I can see there's 4 lots of brake blocks, yeah, and okay, that bit's done. 2 lots of brake cables at £5.68. So I can do £5.68 plus £5.68. 8 and 8 is 16. 6 and 6 is 12, plus 1 is 13. And 5 plus 5 is 10 plus the 1, and that must be £11.36. For the next one, I can see that there's 2 lots of pedals and together they're £45.98. So I need to do £45.98 divided by 2. I can just use my bus stop for this. How many 2's are there in 2? There's 2. How many 2's in 5? There's 2 and 1 remainder. Need to make sure I put my decimal point in. How many 2's are there in 19? Well, 2 times 9 is 18. Sorry, yeah, 2 times 9 is 18 with 1 remainder. How many 2's are there in 18? There's 9. So they must be £22.99 each. And then I've got a labour charge of 1.5 hours at £12 an hour. So I need to multiply 12 by 1.5. So when I'm multiplying decimals, what I can do is take away the decimal point. So my calculation is 12 multiplied by 1.5. I can take away the decimal point and do it as 12 multiplied by 15. Which for speed's sake I'm going to use my calculator, but you shouldn't. It's 180. And I now look back to see where I've got to put the decimal point back in. So I can, looking at my question, I've got 1 number after the decimal point. So I put my decimal point in there, and that's £18. Now I've got to add all of this up. So I have got 16.48 plus £11.36 plus £45.98 plus £18. So I've got 8 and 8 I know is 16, plus the 6 is going to make 22. 4 and 3 is 7, plus 9, which is 16, plus 2, which is 18. Now I've got 6 and 1, which is 7, plus 5, which is 12, plus 8, which is 20, plus 1, which is 21. And now I've got 1, 2, 6, 7, 9, £91.82. Okay, let's look at question 14. Here is a design made from white rectangles and grey rectangles. So we know that A is 4.8 centimetres wide and there are 4 of them. So here I'm going to have to do 4.8 multiplied by 4. And here I've got 3.6 and there's 3 of those. 3.6 multiplied by 3. Okay, so what I can do is for this 48.4, I can take out my decimal point, and I know that 4 times by 8 is 32. 4 times by 4 is 16, plus the 3 is 19. If I go back to my original question, I can see that I've got 1 number after the decimal point there. So for my answer, I put the decimal point in here. So the answer is 19.2. Now I've got to do 3.6 multiplied by 3. Well, I can take the decimal point out and multiply it by 3. 3 times by 6 is 18. And 3 times by 3 is 9, plus 1, which is 10. If I look to my question, I've got 1 number after the decimal point. So if I put that here, this is where my decimal point goes. Now I've got to work out the total length of the design so I can add these together. 2 plus 8 is 10. Decimal point in there. 9 plus 0 plus 1 is 10. And 10, 20, 30. I've got 30.0, so I don't need that 0. I can just say it's 30 centimetres.